could this be?
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're now rocking with the best. And since you are rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I hope everybody is having a crazy, amazing day on this day after a loss against UCLA. We're going to dive deep into some things that went wrong in this basketball game. And then we're going to look to turn the page and talk about Iowa State. Iowa State is next on the docket on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day at 1:30 p.m. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. And wherever you get your podcast, you can find Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. What went right? No, I'm not even going to say what went right. We're going to talk about what went wrong versus UCLA women's basketball team on yesterday. UCLA, the new number one ranked team according to the AP poll. Carolina drops down to number 4. South Carolina's 43-game winning streak is now over. UCLA reigned supreme on yesterday. We cannot continue the slow start woes that is haunting this basketball team. It has become repeated through every game this season of us starting slow. We have talked about getting off to better starts ad nauseum, and we have not done so. We cannot get off to slow starts against top teams. In UCLA, now the number one team in the country, is one of those teams. Carolina, in yesterday's ball game, missed the first 9 shots they attempted. Proceeded to go 4 from 18 from the field in the first quarter. Carolina started horribly. We were down 10 points in the first quarter. So the game was almost cemented in the first quarter. 10 points for us, and they scored 20. South Carolina basketball, first off, don't allow 20 points in a quarter. Let's begin with that. But it did on yesterday. We didn't go to the free throw line at all in the first quarter. 0 for 0. We were out-rebounded by 2. One of my keys to victory was to out-rebound UCLA. Well, that didn't start off right. One of my keys to victory was to shoot above 45%. That didn't happen in that first quarter at all. None. And halftime, it didn't get any better. Halftime, we only made 12 points in the second quarter. So 10 points in the first quarter, 12 points in the second quarter, equated to UCLA scoring 20 points in the first quarter and 23 points in the second quarter. It was rinse and repeat. The first quarter and the second quarter, the game was over. We were down by 19 points. We scored 22 points. We allowed 43 points. The game was over. It was done. And we still didn't go to the free throw line. Through 2 quarters, 20 minutes of play. and we were out-rebounded again in the second quarter. For the half, we were out-rebounded by 7. LSU proceeded. LSU. So I'm thinking about LSU because LSU just won by a 1 point against Washington after Washington was beating them for the betterment of the game. So LSU is on my mind. UCLA out physicaled us in this game. Cool word. They out rebounded us. They out block shots us. That's not even a turn. They blocked more shots than us. They got more points in the paint. They got more fast break points. Whatever metric you want to use that is considered a hustle stat, UCLA did better than us. And at times, it looked like nothing was working for Carolina. It was at times where we just looked small against them. I didn't think I could say those words because their 6'7" player was neutralized, but their 6'4" player, their 6'5" player, their 6'3" player was putting in work. While our 6'5" player, 6'5" player, 6'4" player barely played. There's a lot of things that we could talk about in regards to how UCLA beat us up in the paint, beat us up, offensively and defensively, because they shot wonderfully in this basketball game, and we did not play Carolina defense throughout this basketball game. And it's time. It is time. It is time for some lineup changes. If you go back to the summer, I would say the early fall, I was talking about lineup changes for this basketball team because I believed that certain players deserved to get more playing time than their predecessors. And I heard about loyalty. I heard that, Dawn going to stick with her players and to, I heard all those things say like, okay, like the seniors that we have right now, we have to stick with them because they've been through the wars and they've been in the trenches. And I'm all about loyalty. I love it. And I love me some Raven. I love me some Feagin. I love me some Bree. I do. But the same starting lineup got off to another slow start. And when this is a 6th game. This is a 6th game, right? We play Iowa State, who's ranked in the top 15 on Thursday. Are we going to go to Iowa? We're going to go to Florida because the game is in Florida. Are we going to play Iowa State and get off to another slow start and be down by 10 points, be down by 12 points and have to crawl our way out of it? And potentially you lose that basketball game because we got behind once again. We got to fight so hard to get out of that hole. I think it's time. I think it's time to I think it's time to hurt some feelings. I think it's time to do some furniture moving. I think it's time to assign new roles. I just do. Our starting lineup. Our starting lineup in the first quarter: Powell, Raven, Bree, Feagin, and Chloe produced 10 points. Powell played 7 minutes. Chloe played 7 minutes. Raven played 7 minutes. Bree played 5 minutes, and Feagin played 5 minutes. Okay, that was our starting lineup in the first quarter. Of that time, Powell had 3 points, 1 for 5 in the field, 1 for 1 from 3. Okay, 1 assist. Raven, 0 points, 0 for 2 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 turnover. Bree, 5 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 2 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 steal. Chloe, 7 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 3 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Feagin, 5 minutes, 0 for 1 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 block, and 1 turnover. No, y'all. No, this can't continue to happen. Production has to happen some type of way in the first quarter of every game going forward. The offense looks disjointed from the beginning. It's like sometimes it seems like we're stuck in the mud a little bit. Game plans are being geared towards Tahina Papa. Game plans are being geared towards Chloe Kitts. Teams are making adjustments. They're making the focus of this basketball team to stop Tahina Papa and Chloe Kitts. Anybody can see that. So in the first quarter, if you're going to basically game plan for those 2 players and make the other players play, score, we haven't been able to do that. So if Chloe and Powell get off to a slow start, the game is over. Against a great team like a UCLA, the game is over. Because Powell going 1 for 5 and Chloe going 0 for 3. So you're talking about 1 for 8 for those 2 players. Because the other players in the starting lineup was 0 for 5. So it's not like they're taking a bunch of shots, but they're not making their way to get shots. They're not creating their own shot. And in this game, the best shot maker played 3 minutes. I'm talking about Fulwiley. We could not create our own shots in this basketball game. And I know, just like y'all know, Fulwiley will turn over the ball. She's averaging about 3 turnovers per basketball game. But MiLaysia Fulwiley is our best shot maker on this basketball team. Yes, she's going to play and probably gets a few turnovers that she's like, oh my God. But also, she's going to get to the basket. She's going to get fouled. She's going to make some shots. But she has to get on the court in order for that to happen. Tessa Johnson had 7 points. Did she have? She had 5 or 7 points in the first quarter. I can't recall. But Tessa is almost plug and play. You're going to get a lot from Tessa Johnson when she plays. But she has to play. She has to, in my opinion, she has to start. And if you're making lineup changes, you have to start with inserting Tessa Johnson into the lineup. You have to. It's imperative for the 6'1" Tessa Johnson to start. Going forward, pull the Band-Aid off, and Tessa Johnson needs to start. And she needs to play 25 plus minutes a game. If you want to get off a better start against Iowa State, Tessa Johnson needs to be in that game. In the game yesterday, Tessa Johnson balled out. It is really, you know, I'm blown away sometimes about how she navigates and how she has no fear. And for the season, without starting, Tessa's averaging 19 minutes, 9 points, shooting 50% from the field, 58% from the 3. 2 rebounds. Offensive rating of 129.2. So you telling me that Tessa should not be starting in the game? That Tessa Johnson shooting 50% from the field and 58% from 3 should not be in the starting lineup. This is what we're doing. If you have the combination at the 1 and the 2 of Pow, Tessa Johnson, And I say take out Raven because right now Raven's not performing. Right now through the season, she's averaging 24 minutes, 3 points, shooting 20% from the field, 7% from three, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Right now, her offensive rating is 78.4, which is the lowest offensive rating on the team and the lowest in her career. Through 6 basketball games, Raven is not her yet. I still believe in Raven Johnson. But right now, through 6 games, Raven is not giving you much offensively. She isn't. Scoring the basketball with assists, she's not. And that's unfortunate because of how good I believe Raven Johnson is. But through 6 games, she's not giving that to you. Tessa is. Will she be as good as Raven is defensively? No, she's not as good defensively. Raven Johnson, right now, have a defensive rating of 81.6. That's not the stellar defensive rating she had over the past 2 years. Okay? She is not playing right now Raven Johnson defense. Well, I'm gonna lock you up. The defensive rating is the lowest in the last 3 years. Her offensive rating right now is the lowest in her career. And I didn't do the deep dive in terms of players with offensive rating who plays over 20 minutes. I didn't do that. But I would bet that right now Raven has one of the lowest defensive ratings in the SEC in regards to playing over 20 minutes. She's in a funk. And it's even flow. I got a Kobe Bryant jersey, shirt on right now. Kobe went through his shooting rolls. It happens. And right now, Raven is having problems getting the ball in the basket. But I believe she'll be back. Let her come off the bench. Let her come off the bench and get about 18, 20 minutes in a game. But start Tessa and give her about 20, 25. But that's not it. That's not the only lineup change I believe, Captain Will believes, that should happen. I think Watkins should start. I believe that Watkins would have been starting anyway before, the situation happened this summer. Watkins gives more than Sania Feagin. She's better defensively, although Feagin is playing wonderful defense. But for the season, right now, Watkins averaging 19 minutes. Feagin's averaging 16 minutes. Watkins 7 points. Feagin 5 points. Watkins 48% from the field. Feagin 52% from the field. Watkins 5 rebounds. Feagin 4 rebounds. Watkins averaging 2 block shots per game. Watkins averaging close to 1. Right now, Watkins has a better offensive and defensive rating than Sania Feagin. The combination of Watkins and Chloe Kitts, along with Tessa, Powell, and Bree, is what I believe we need to do. And someone mentioned me, like, Cap, what about having 4 guards? Having four guards, or 2 guards, 2 wings, and a post. And I was like, okay, that's not a bad idea. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have Kitts as the post. And we're going to play some quote-unquote small ball. You insert a player like a MiLaysia Fulwiley into that. And then we sub accordingly. Because right now, the offense is disjointed. And that first quarter for us this season has not been pretty to look at. It has not. In the game yesterday, Watkins played 30 minutes. Powell played 29. Bree had 28 minutes. Tessa 24. Maddy 20. Maddy McDaniel played 20 minutes in this basketball game yesterday. Joyce played 17 and Raven played 16. We have to play better offensively. But damn it, we got to play defensively too. Because yesterday, UCLA was doing whatever they wanted to do in that game. Now, we played them tomorrow. I'm not saying they're going to shoot 49% from 3. And the The game plan was to take out bets. For the most part, we did. She still got her double-double, but she did not rule the game like she does against other teams. But we doubled bets, and their shooters shot the ball. And when they missed the ball, when they missed the shot, they got the offensive rebound because our defensive rebounding was not there on yesterday. Not at all. It seems like they got every loose ball. Every loose ball. And it was not fun to watch as our girls in the post on the perimeter got bullied and pushed out the way. It was not fun to watch. The most efficient players on this basketball team in yesterday's game, according to analytics, was Powell, Watkins, and Tessa. Okay? Powell played 73% of the game. I'm not opposed of Powell playing 80% of every game going forward. I've mentioned before that Powell is our best player on this team. Some folks going to agree with me. Some folks going to disagree with me. Powell produces every single game. How many players on our basketball team produces every single game? She has done that. She's done that. She's shooting efficiently. She's shooting the ball well. She guards. And Powell is our quote-unquote go-to player by my eyes right now. Tessa Johnson is having a wonderful season through 6 ball games. If you're shooting 50% from the field and 58% from 3, you have to find a way on the court and play more minutes. In yesterday's game, she played 60% of the game. Tessa needs to play at least 70% of the basketball game. At least. She is a shot maker. She can shoot the ball so well, and she's 6'1", can guard and can handle the ball. Things got to change for this basketball team. And the players who are actually producing right now need to be rewarded for that. Watkins played 75% of the minutes in yesterday's game. She played 30 minutes of this game. She's rounding into the type player that we want her to be. There's a task on Thursday with Awry Crooks, their center. She is something else. Iowa State as a basketball team is not as good as South Carolina. Top to bottom, they aren't. But I believe at this point, through 6 basketball games, we need to shorten up the bench a little bit. We need to shorten up the bench a little bit because we haven't players sit too long on the bench. And if we're not overwhelming a team, maybe we just need to play about 8.5 players in a game. Maybe the 8 should be Powell, Tessa, Bree, Chloe, Watkins. That's that 5. Raven, that's 6. Feagin, that's 7. Joyce, that's 8. Maybe we need to do that. So the girls will get used to being in their roles and doing things, repetitive. Because right now the lineup changes and the substitution patterns is not in that way. And I forgot about MiLaysia Fulwiley. How the hell I forget about MiLaysia Fulwiley? We need to figure out some ways that the bulk of the minutes need to go to Powell, Fulwiley, Tessa, Watkins, Chloe. The bulk of the minutes. All those players need to play at least 25, 27 minutes a game. Those 5. And then you sub accordingly. But those 5 need to play the bulk of the minutes in every basketball game going forward. Work the details out in practice. Continue to fight. But this offense is not looking like it's hitting on all cylinders at all. And this lineup schedule is sick. Because after Iowa State, we got Purdue. So we play Thursday and Saturday. After Purdue, we got TCU, who is ranked and undefeated. Then we see Haley Van Lith again. Then we got Duke. If things don't right the ship, if things don't get in order and things aren't figured out in regards to substitution patterns and starting lineups and getting off the better starts, there's going to be a situation. There's going to be a situation that we're not used to seeing as South Carolina Gamecock spoiled fans that we haven't seen in quite some time. I believe in Dawn Staley. Never going to defer from that. But things got to, and she mentioned, okay, minutes got to be possibly distributed differently. And I want to see that on Thursday. I want lineup changes, and I want the best players playing the most minutes. Whatever's going on with MiLaysia Fulwiley, that stuff got to be figured out before Thursday. Because if MiLaysia Fulwiley is healthy, she needs to play basketball. That's all I'm saying. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Go Gamecocks.